The Bassquatch Hunter himself is in studio with us this morning. Mike McKinstry is with us right now. Mike, by the way, is a big listener of this radio program. Actually, if he tells me the story one more time, I'm going to punch him right in the nose, or I'm going to hook him with my fishing rod and lure, because he tells me that he grew up with this radio show. Were you used to listen to the show when you were in high school? Is that right?
Yeah, actually, this was like part of my daily routine my senior year of high school, is where we couldn't get out of the car until we were done listening to phone scams in the morning. So we were always late to class because of you guys. So
Where'd you go to high school?
Lakeland High School.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I love that he came in the studio and said, last time I met you, Spike, you were in a dress. And I said, which time?
Which was that? What was it?
It was a Halloween.
Yeah, it was like
Pub crawl?
2000 and what was it, 7 or something?
It was a
like
while
that?
back,
It was
yeah.
in the early 2000s, and he was dressed up as
Little Orphan Annie.
Actually, one of the things I thought was really endearing about you when you and I first talked about the idea of doing this was you said that you and your dad would talk to each other after the phone scam was over with to critique the phone scams.
Well, my dad was always, he still to this day is shocked how far Spike would go sometimes in some of the phone scams, especially like early in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things where as soon as it was over, my phone would ring. And he'd be like, oh my God, did you hear that one? I can't believe
That's
how far
awesome.
you
Oh, that's so good.
All right, so here's the interesting part of this. I only said yes to this for two reasons. One, because I know that the Zott family is one of your main sponsors, right? So
Yes.
Zott Ford, Steve Gabara, and those guys over there are big sponsors of you guys. And so I wanted to do it for that reason. Two, because I have a bunch of friends who are huge fishermen. Tim McCormick, who is actually for Bally Sports, he's the Pistons studio host and former NBA player. He's one of the fishermen, friends that I have. And then my buddy Connor, who plays in the NHL, they're always asking me to go fishing with them. And I have zero interest in going fishing. Like, I really do.
Are you too grossed out by it, or do you think it's too boring
To
for
me,
you?
to me, there seems like nothing that would be worse than fishing. There's no electronic device that I can watch on a boat unless it's a depth finder to know exactly how much ground we have to cover. But I like your concept of your show because from what I have watched of Bassquatch Hunter is you bring people like me out there that don't know how to fish.
Yeah.
And you just sit there, but they have interesting occupations, right? And you like to talk to them about what they do and what they're all about.
Yeah, well, it's all about, I quit my career to do this for a living, and it's one of those things where I like people who follow their passions, and I like people who do things for happiness, not for, material things, and that's why I kind of find my guests, kind of like you. You've been doing this for so long, and you followed your dreams and your passions to do what you want to do for a living, and so did I, and I like to share that with people. So when I bring you out on the water, it's not just about fishing. It's about sharing your story. It's about sharing, how you got where you are, too, but also enjoying the peace and the nature and, all the fun stuff, too.
Here's the part that scares me. So when I was talking to him on the phone about the idea of doing this, it wasn't until the end of the conversation that he told me that we weren't going to go on like some beautiful pontoon boat and fish.
Yeah.
Will you tell everybody how we're going to be fishing?
Yeah, so we're going to be fishing in kayaks, but it's not what you think of when you hear the word kayak. These things they're made to
Do you
stand
know
up
that?
on.
Do you know that I weigh almost 300
Yeah, have
pounds
you
for
ever
God's
been on a
sakes? That I'm a
kayak?
big man.
Yeah, I've had, NHL players and stuff that are your size and, athletic, and they can handle it.
There's one thing you said.
You
that
said
is
athletic.
not-
I said athletic. I understand that. But these kayaks are made to stand up on. Like, I've been in the ocean with these things. Like, you can't flip them over. Like, it's
Really?
it's a little
Oh,
plastic
man,
boat.
that sounds like a challenge.
The only thing
right there.
worse to be fishing off of would be a stand-up board, which I can't even balance myself on.
You'll have a great time. Trust me. You'll be comfortable. You'll have a lot more fun. And I think, and plus you can talk as much as you want. That's
Do
the
I
good
call
part.
you Mike or Bassquatch Hunter?
You can call me Mike.
Do people call you Bassquatch Hunter, the Bassquatch Hunter?
Yeah, they usually yell Bassquatch across the room and see if I answer, and usually I do.
It's on his American Express card.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as probably calling you Mojo. It's just.
Hey, Mike, our Mike here goes to Bass Pro Shop just because he likes to buy the hats. Do you have any kind of employee discount there because you guys shop so much for fishing stuff?
No, actually, I mean, we have all of our own. Like, I wear most of my own clothing stuff. I like to promote, what we do with the show and stuff. So,
Okay.
But we do have that online at BassquatchHunter.com.
Are you going to make Mojo dehook his fish?
So I'm going to make Mojo
Assuming he catches
not
one.
only catch a fish, but I'm also going to make him touch the fish. I'm going to make him hold the fish,
Oh.
and I'm going to teach him about the fish.
Now, you know he
That's the
has this
hardest
thing
part.
with his arm already, right?
don't
Did
know
you hear
this.
about the injury to his arm?
Yeah.
So I just want to make you aware because he might complain that that's the reason, like he can't cast or
Cast.
something.
Oh, these are the
He-
prior excuses coming out.
Right.
Okay.
Do you want to? Share?
If you would like to share with, I was not going to report any injuries to this man.
Oh,
But
okay.
if you'd like to share, you can.
So we had a contest on this show several years ago about who could change a tire the fastest. And what did you damage trying to change your
I
tire?
tore my bicep muscle
And had to have surgery.
and had to have surgery
Changing a tire?
Yeah.
by
Well, he didn't change the tire.
the legendary Dr. Kyle Anderson, the Detroit Lions coach, who actually the same day I was having surgery, I forget who it was. One of the big players was having his bicep muscle operated on. At the
But
same
it all
time.
started because Mojo was challenging everybody's manhood, and he wanted to make a contest.
Oh, I'm
of
not
it.
a man. I've learned this now. I am not a
So
man
all the
anymore.
warnings I've had about him not being outdoorsy or athletic or
true.
coordinated.
You might want to get him some snorkeling gear.
And
'cause
it's
You
like-
said he'll never go over in that kayak.
Yes. I do know how to swim though. I am very,
Well, we always wear
I'm
life jackets.
floatable. I'm buoyant. I'm able to be okay in water. But
Just supervise him. We need him here. I don't want him to like eat a lure or a floater thinking it's candy. I just want to be
He's
is
gonna
it
come
wait,
back a
is a
fisherman.
lawyer? Is it a lawyer or a lure?
It's a
Lure.
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 Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All
Yeah.
I want to do, all I want to see is a video of you taking a fish off the hook. That's all I want to see.
Yeah.
Grabbing the fish itself and then taking it off.
Mike, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've dated some girls in my day, and I'm very good with my hands.
Oh boy.
You'll do
With-
well.
Yes. So I just want you to know that. But the Mike in studio, this Mike in studio, Mike McKinstry with us right now, the Bassquatch Hunter. I told you I would not go out until all the ice is thawed in the at least the lakes had a temperature that wasn't as cold as the actual outdoor air.
Yeah. When are you guys doing this?
Yeah, so it's gonna be sometime soon. We're waiting for the weather to be good enough for. I don't want Mojo to be uncomfortable in the weather.
What do I wear, by the way? Can I wear? Because I only wear black T-shirts and
Camo.
Camo. Do I wear?
Yeah.
I don't
Bass
have
Pro
anything.
Shop hats.
I have a camo jacket, but I don't think I have like a camo pants. Do I get to wear like how they always wear like the suspenders
waders?
and the waders and stuff?
Yeah,
Do they wear that?
last time I met Spike, he was wearing a dress, so I'm pretty sure you can wear whatever you want. I'm pretty sure it's the doors
I'm
open
gonna
at this point.
I'm gonna gamble and bet that Mojo's gonna be in black North Face. It's
Yeah,
gonna be-
you can, and that's a cool thing about fishing. It's not what you think it is. Like, it's not. You don't have to wear camo. You don't have to be stealthy or quiet. You go out and have a great time. You can dress whatever you're comfortable in. I always say dress for the swim, not the paddle, just in case you do go over. But
Will you
know,
be serving appletinis for him on the boat?
You know what? Maybe we will.
Can we drink during this thing? Do we get to have cocktails?
I mean, you can. You could do
That's
whatever
why you
want,
can
man.
cast with one hand. You got your beer in your other hand.
Well, what's cool about the kayaks that we're in too is they're so big and open where you can literally have like a cooler with you. My dog runs around on there with me. Like, I mean, it's a little boat. It really is. So you can have all the luxuries that you can think of on a boat. Just you'll have the peace and quiet of being by yourself.
I went fishing. I've gone fishing twice or three times in my lifetime. And the last time I went fishing, we were out for 2.5 hours. I'm going to tell you something. We got nothing, not even a nibble. What's the longest that it has taken you and any of your guests on the Bassquatch Hunter to get a nibble and to actually pull something in?
Well, usually, so we fish all public lakes. So, I mean, where we fish, there's always a lot of pressure, and it does happen sometimes where you get no fish. I mean, it's just like a normal fishing day, and we air that too. Like, we don't try
Really?
Yeah, we don't try to, make it like a. A lot of the fishing shows will do in like stocked ponds, so it's guaranteed catching fish, but that's not realistic. So if a viewer watches the show, I want them to be like, "Hey, if Mojo could do it, I could do it."
Forget
You know what
stock
I mean?
pond. Mojo's going to bring a Kroger fish
A
in
goldfish?
his cooler and hook it to the.
Oh, a salmon fillet, like
Yeah.
an already filleted
Oh,
salmon.
look what I caught! It's fully prepped.
No, sushi. I was going to bring sushi. I was going to Sushi Samurai on Orchard Lake Road, and I'm going to bring a bunch of tuna rolls.
No, we'll get you on some fish. Usually it takes a couple hours sometimes. It takes 5 minutes sometimes. But either way, we have an awesome time, and we're going to get you on some fish.
I really am. I will tell you, I've watched numerous episodes of yours, and you're very entertaining. You're an excellent interviewer. By the way, what was your original job that you did before you quit to do this show?
Well, there's been a lot of them, but my main career was in promotional marketing.
Okay.
So I did a lot of promotional marketing stuff, which I've always been in sales my whole life. But I've also I've been everywhere. I've done so many things. between sports, and I had a bar restaurant at one point, and I just had a couple of a music business, a bunch of other stuff. But
Well, after a few hours on the boat with Mojo, you might want to go back to one of those.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah, you know what though? The coolest part about this job, though, about the career that I chose, is that I get to meet cool people. Though, like I get to go out and have experiences with people and do things like this, where I get to try out what you guys do for a living, and then bring you in my world and show you what I do.
Yeah.
And we can kind of compare our hands afterwards.
The
and go, "Isn't that
concept
cool?"
is great. Like the concept is because I've watched I like that Jerry Seinfeld show where he interviews people in his cars and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Comedians with
Comedians, coffee and cars, or whatever the heck it is. And this concept is kind of, to me, reminds me of that, because you get the person at the most vulnerable because they're concentrating on other things, right?
Yeah, and you're
Well,
on
they're
your
not
element too.
concentrating. Well, and also
Yeah.
there's nothing to
Yeah,
take
they're not-
away your focus from what you're doing.
They're
Well, you
not
bring them out of
worried
their
about the
comfort zone.
interview. You're not in a studio doing a podcast or
Right.
something like that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I love it. All right, Bassquatch Hunter, check out the show, and then I'll inform our listeners when we finally do it and it airs.
Oh yeah, the bloopers will be all over the internet.
Yeah, I hope you have a budget. He's going to lose a few rods in the drink.
Oh yeah, no, our blooper reel is going to be everywhere. Trust me.
You were a second ago. You were like, "Hey, Spike and Shannon, if you guys want to go out too, how would they go out? Do you have that many kayaks?"
Oh yeah, I have a trailer full of kayaks, and I actually invite people out every time I go out, just because I like sharing what we do. So,
Can we do kayak races sometimes? With
so
some
all
of
my
those kayaks
kayaks are
Yeah.
pedal drives too, so they're all actually pedal
Really?
driven. So
Really?
you don't have to paddle, so you can hold a fishing rod the whole
Oh,
time.
I want a driver
or
if
a
I'm
glass of
coming
wine. Or,
Yeah,
Sweet.
Spike
But
wants an
I'm
Uber
sorry, I don't
version of
paddle.
that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
well,
awesome.
I have electric motor on mine as well. So I mean, they're like I said, they're not like what you think of when you think of kayaks.
Yeah.
So you guys could all come out and at least witness, Mojo
Maybe
catching his
I
first
will.
fish.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's pretty
great.
leisurely when you think about it. It's a lot of fun.
What lakes will we go on? Because of I'd like to go on. What's the listener that's on Oxford?
Oh, Michelle.
Michelle.
Michelle the
I wanna
crazy
go on
Italian.
Michelle. You know, I want to go on Michelle the Crazy Italian's lake
Because she'll have drinks at the dock. She'll come out on the
she'll
pier with
she'll
cocktails.
be out there saving my ass when I fall over in the kayak and I'm out there.
What kind of fishing do you do? Bait? Are you going to do fly with Mojo?
So it's all artificial bait, and we're mostly gonna be doing bass fishing, and possibly some pan fishing, like the bluegills and stuff. Depends on how the bite is that day. So either
And
way,
do we eat this afterwards or do you throw them back?
we throw them back. It's all catch and release. Yep.
Okay.
And the lake we go on, you'll have a great time. Trust me. There's 9 species in there, and you can catch everything, and you'll have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you don't have fun, we're gonna
Any
get some
species I
amazing
should be
bloopers.
worried about at all, or
No, I mean there's
A few
northern-
bodies sometimes in the bottom of the lake.
Yeah, there's northern
Throw 'em
pike
back.
in there, which have a lot of teeth, but they're all pretty easy.
you know I'm getting the Oakland County Sheriff's Mike Bouchard to bring out the sheriff's boat just to make sure,
Just in
God
case.
forbid. This, my career is not ending on me drowning on the bottom of a lake somewhere. around
Yeah,
here.
no, we all wear life jackets too. I always promote safety on there, so you'll float no matter what.
Good. Mike, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio with us, and looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too, man. Thank you.
Check him out, the Bassquatch Hunter.